Hey YouTube, Linnell back here again. And in this video, I'm going to go ahead and do a walkthrough on how to set up a Google Ads campaign for your epoxy flooring business. Real quick, why I prefer Google Ads over things like TikTok ads and Facebook ads, even though TikTok ads and Facebook ads can definitely work well for this sort of specific niche, because this niche is very visual. And I feel like you can get some really good results when it comes to the visual aspect, especially with TikTok and Facebook ads. However, Google ads, you're just going to be getting a lot of high intent clicks, high intent buyers, which means people are actively going to be searching up your service on Google, which means that they have a higher intent to buy your service. So the quality is just a lot higher on Google because they're actively searching for your service. But again, without further ado, this video is going to be a exact step-by-step guide on how to set up Google Ads for your epoxy flooring business. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right in here. If you're new to this channel, my name is Linnell, and I am the CEO over here at Lux Leads. We specialize in getting local leads for local service-based businesses through Google Ads specifically. And if you're looking to add Google Ads as a revenue channel to your business, feel free to click on the link in my bio and set up a free 20-minute call, and we can definitely see if we can help you out with that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in this. So the first thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is click on Create New Campaign. And once you get here, it's going to ask you for your objective. Now, our objective here is obviously going to be leads. You can also go with website traffic, but just to be specific, we want to go with leads. It's going to ask you for your conversion goals. For your conversion goals, you can do phone call leads or contacts. This isn't going to really make or break your campaign, as I always say, but it is still good to definitely add that on there. Okay, go ahead and press continue. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go for search campaigns. Okay, after we go with search campaigns, it would select the ways you like to reach your goal. You could do website visits. You go ahead and press your landing page here, your phone calls. You can press there, but I wouldn't really worry about that too much right now. So go ahead and press continue. Okay, go ahead and name your campaign name. You can just name it Epoxy Your City. Really not that big of a difference there, big of a deal. All right, then next is going to ask for your bidding. Now for your bidding, you always want to focus on your clicks first. Reason you want to focus on clicks is because we want to get Google as much data as human. Just make sure my mic is on. Okay. You want to make sure you're getting as much data as possible to Google Ads so the algorithm can understand which clicks are turning into customers. And as your ad ages and you start to optimize, that's when you can more focus on conversions, because you'll know which clicks are turning into actual calls or actual clients. But for now, just to get data into our account, we want to go with clicks. Then you obviously want to set a maximum cost per click bid limit. What this does is it gives Google a leash. You're basically telling Google, hey, I don't want to spend more than this amount on each click. You're basically putting up a wall so Google doesn't pass. If you don't do this, Google will spend as much as whatever to get a click. And sometimes you see clicks as high as $100. It really just depends on the niche and the city you're in and how competitive it is. But we definitely want to add this on so we're not spending too much. And to really understand what your maximum CPC bid limit can be, you can just go over to something like Keyword Planner over in your Google Ads account. You would just go over to the left-hand side, go to Tools, go to Planning, and then Keyword Planner. Okay. And then you'll see here what you want to do. Once these keywords open, you want to scroll to the right a little bit, and then you'll see the top of the page bid high range and the top of the page bid low range. What this means, this is how much people are paying per click to be at the top of the page. So you'll see for epoxy, people are paying as low as 54 cents and as high as $5.64 for a click at the top of the page. And you can see for some other keywords related to that niche, like epoxy garage, they're paying as high as $7. So what you can do is kind of give you a really good kind of indication. You can just go $7.01 or $7.20. It's really up to you. And as the ad kind of ages, you can, really mess around with this and either add more so you can be at the top of the page still, or add less if you're already dominating your competitors and you just want to spend less on your clicks. But for now, we can do that. Give us a little wiggle room above the CPC bid limit. Okay. Customer acquisition. What you want to do is go and press next. Now here, there's definitely a thing here that a lot of ad agencies really do, and what they do is they just uncheck both of these boxes. Now you can definitely go with this option. However, you can also click the top here. Now, when you click the top, you really just want to test this, and if this is getting you good clicks that are turning into customers, keep it on. If it's not, take it off. But it's really just up to you. You want to test it with your campaign. What it's going to do is going to cast a wider net for you, because not everybody does use Google. Sometimes they use Google search partners or different websites, and they do search up relevant terms to your keywords that could turn into potential customers. So you could have that to cast a wider net. Again, this is something that you would need to test. Now, for the bottom one, never check this off. Throw that away. I don't even know why they have that here. They want to spend your money, basically. But the top one, you can definitely keep that on just to test it, see if you're getting good clicks, see if you're getting good clients. And what it is doing is just casting a wider net for you. So you may have more opportunity to get more leads here. But you can also uncheck it. If you just want to do with Google, you want to keep it safe, just do Google, you can keep that unchecked. It's really up to you there. Okay. All right, next is going to ask for your locations. Now for your locations, what you want to do is you obviously want to input the location that you're going to be targeting. What you can do is you go to advanced search, and then in this case, we're going to do San Diego. So we would just do San Diego. All right, and if you wanted to do any extra areas, you could type in Chula Vista. Let's say if you just wanted to add in Chula Vista, you press include. You're now doing Chula Vista as well. You can do national city, etc., etc. You can also do zip codes here, and then you can also do a radius if you wanted to do like 20 miles around, let's say Chula Vista. You could do that as well. Okay. And then right here where it says location options, you want to make sure you're doing presence people in or regularly in your included locations. Reason you want to do that is you want to make sure you're advertising to people who actually live in the city you're advertising to. You don't want to advertise to people who don't live in the city. Reason being, because usually the people that are looking for your service that don't live in the city are other marketers, and what they're going to do is they're going to click on your ad and waste your money. So you want to make sure you're only advertising to people who are actually in your city or regularly in your city. And I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing words, guys. It's been a long day. But all right. So now here you'll see more settings here at the bottom. You want to keep that there, keep that there. For your ad schedule, you want to make sure you're running your ads obviously when you have somebody ready to answer the phone or ready to call the form leads. You don't really want to have your ad on 24/7. Some people do. If they want to call the form leads in the morning, that could be an option as well. But you want to make sure you're calling these form leads and having somebody on the phone right away, because a lot of times, especially with me being in sales, right, people will fill out form leads and forget they fill them out. And then you're calling them and they're like, I never filled that out, and it's just a whole waste of time, waste of your money, etc. Or you just don't get a hold of them for a long time, and then you sick them in the follow-up. So you want to make sure you're actually calling them as soon as they submit a form or give you a call. Okay, so you want to make sure your ad schedule is running when your work hours are running. Pretty simple, right? Okay, and then you go ahead and press next. Now this AI Max, this is pretty new here. You just want to go ahead and press next here for now. Kind of keep everything basic. You can put your URL here to help you come up with keywords, which is what I'm about to go over next with you guys. All right, now for your keywords, what you want to do is, first let me explain what keywords are and what ad groups are. So think of an ad group basically like a room inside of a big house, and the big house is the campaign. All right, so there's multiple rooms within inside a campaign, which means there's multiple rooms inside a house, which means there's multiple ad groups inside a campaign, right? So in each ad group, what you want to do is you want to focus on a specific service, and I'll explain why you want to do that. But what you want to do for this ad group, you could focus on, let's say you do patio epoxy flooring, or garage. Let's do a garage, right? You would want all of your keywords to be related to garage epoxy flooring. So garage epoxy flooring company, garage epoxy flooring near me, garage epoxy flooring, etc., etc. And you want to put all of those keywords into this box right here. And what you want to do is, a good rule of thumb is you want to use phrase match and exact match when it comes to these keywords. And to explain what phrase match and exact match is, it's right here at the bottom as well. If you're ever confused, you can click on learn more. It'll teach you exactly what they are. But to give you just a rundown real quick for this guide to make it simple, phrase match basically means if someone searches that keyword phrase, and let's do, for example, garage epoxy. If someone searches garage epoxy near me, or garage epoxy company, garage epoxy flooring, garage epoxy installation, etc., etc., your ad will show up for that if you have a phrase match garage epoxy in this box here. So, yeah. And then for exact match, if you have an exact match garage epoxy, that means that it will only, let's just show an example. Okay, this is phrase match because it has the quotations right there. All right, so that's a phrase match because you have the quotations around there. So if someone searches garage epoxy near me, if someone searches garage epoxy flooring, garage epoxy company, your ad can show up for it because you have garage epoxy phrase match in here. Now, if you have a garage epoxy exact match, which is this, but with brackets around it, that means your ad will only show up for garage epoxy, and that's it. It will not show up for any other phrase because you're only going after the exact match of the keyword. I hope that makes sense for you guys. It's kind of a quick rundown of what exact match and phrase match are. I'm not even really going to go into broad match. You don't really need to know it, especially when you're doing local service ads, or not local service ads, especially when you're doing a local service-based business and you're running Google ads. You don't really need to worry about broad match, so I wouldn't really go into that. Okay. Now, what you can do is, after you find the keywords all related to garage epoxy, and you can use AI to help you find those keywords. You can also use Google Keyword Planner. You would want to go to something called a keywords wrapper. You would put all the keywords into this box here, and then what it will do is it'll give you the phrase and exact match, right? And then you just want to copy those and then put that here in this box for the ad group. And if you want to find a keyword wrapper, just look it up on Google, keyword wrapper, AdWords at wrapper. It'll pop up right there. And then you go ahead and put that in this box here. All right. Now, once you have your keywords in there, guys, for your ad group, you would go ahead and scroll down to the actual ad. Now, for the ad, the reason we like to have separate services in different ad groups is because it looks really good in Google's eyes, which means that Google can have you spend less on your clicks. It'll also look good to the customers that are clicking on the ad. Everything's seamless, everything makes sense, and overall it's just better. A lot of people don't really waste time doing that, which means that their cost per click is going to be more expensive. Google's algorithm is going to be a little bit confused, and maybe their customers are going to be more confused. So you just want to make sure that your ad group all has the same service, and then your landing page is also specifically about that service. So since this ad group is about garage epoxy flooring, we want to make sure our landing page is all about garage epoxy flooring. And I'm going to make a video about landing pages here pretty soon, but you just want to make sure everything makes sense. And each ad group is going to have its own separate landing page because it's going to be its own separate service. Okay. And you want to do that for every service you provide. I know it's a lot of work, but trust me, this is what you want to do, especially to beat out your competition and to spend less money. and to get higher quality leads. So just definitely do that. And then once you're done with your landing page, you put that here. For display path, you can just put garage epoxy or epoxy garage or flooring, etc., etc. Go to put your phone number here. You can use CallRail or you can use Twilio, whichever one, doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure that call has a tracker, so that way you're able to keep track of those phone calls. All right, and now we're going to the headlines. Now the headlines is the copy. And to show you what headlines is, this blue right here, these are headlines. Okay, and what you want to do with headlines, this is the first thing that people see when they search up your search ad. And you want to make sure you stand out versus your competition. So a lot of times I like to show who you are, what you have done, and either a call to action or a credential, just something really just to stand out and show you're better than your competitors, whether that's an offer or really just whatever. And you could ask AI to definitely help you out. What you want to do is you want to go in ChatGPT, be like, hey, ChatGPT, can you help me create headlines for my garage epoxy flooring business and help me stand out? And ChatGPT will go and give you a whole bunch of options that are really great, and they will really help you. As you can see with these guys, is Inland Empire Epoxy Flooring, family owned and operated. Pretty boring. I mean, they're at the top, so I'm sure they're getting clicks, but overall, you could smoke these guys. You could do like #1 Inland Empire Epoxy Flooring Company, 200 reviews, 200 customers, etc., etc. Things like that, guys. You just want to make sure you stand out when you guys do your headlines. And you want to make sure you fill out all 15 of these. Okay. Now for description is just this gray area right here. Same thing, you want to stand out in your description. You can have a call to action in there. You can also have some credentials, maybe an offer in there as well. You really just want to make sure, it's hot up here, that you're doing better than your competitors when it comes to your description. And then obviously too, with description, just like your headlines, you want to make sure you fill out all 4 of these. All right, images. Now images are very slept on, especially when it comes to search ads. I don't know why most people don't use them, but you definitely want to use them. Add some images of you doing the job. Add some before and after images. Add some images of some nice garage epoxy. Trust me, that's going to help you stand out versus your competitors. And it's just going to give you a nice edge, because as you can see, these guys aren't using images, and they don't even have their website up here, and they're still at the top, and I'm sure they're still getting clicks. I'm sure they're still getting customers, but this is stuff that's going to help you stand out versus your competitors. So make sure you're adding images. Business name, you just go ahead and put your business name in there, your business logo, put that in there. Your site links. Now site links are really important. What site links are going to do, they're like these. They're just going to give you more real estate on the page. They're going to make your ad bigger, and you want your ad to be bigger. And what site links are going to do, they're going to link to different parts of your landing page, and that's pretty much it. As you can see, epoxy flooring for garages, best prices around. You can do whatever you want, before and after photos, free quote, free estimate. What's another good one? It could be anything, guys, but you just want to add these site links, because these site links are going to be able to make your ad bigger, and just like I already said, and just give more real estate, which means people are going to have to scroll to get past your ad, and you want that. All right. Call outs, these are just call to actions. You can read it right here. Call out shows additional text about popular or unique aspects of your business and your ad. You can use them to highlight promotional offers, 50% off, $1,000 off, whatever your offer is, 24/7 customer support, etc. You can add those here. Just go to new call out, and you just create a call out there. All right, more asset types, promotions. You can add promotions if you'd like. Prices, I wouldn't really add prices. Messages, don't need to worry about messages. Lead forms, You can just have a lead form on your landing page. Don't really need that. Structured snippets. These you could definitely add. Structured snippet gives you more space to highlight the nature and range of your project, of your product and services. You can even specify the dates, days of week, and times with this info. You can definitely add this if you'd like. What you want to do, you guys, you just want to add as much as you can with this, because it's just going to give you more juice. Your ad's going to stand out more. People are going to want to click your ad compared to your competitors, and you'll win. That's really what it's all about, right? Winning at the end of the day. Also, I forgot to go over this, but you'll see this little circle up here. You want to get this as close to full as possible. This is your ad strength, and it's an indication of relevance and diversity in your ad combinations. Having more relevant, unique content can help you get the right ad in front of customers, improve your ad performance. Now, this is more so for Google. Google likes this because Google will rank you higher the better this score is. So you just want to make sure that you're getting this score to 90 as possible. Now, if you're adding your keywords and the headlines, filling up all the headlines in your descriptions, you'll automatically fill this up, and you'll notice that it goes up with time. And then it'll tell you what to do here, right? All right. And once you have that ad done, you're going to want to go ahead and scroll down and press next or done. All right. Now, it's only going to let you do one ad and then one ad group. However, once this ad is done and you submit this ad and you start running it, you're going to have the option to add more ad groups, and you want to do that as quick as possible. And do it for all the services that you provide. You want to make like 3 ads per ad group, and continue with that until you're done. All right, your daily budget. I always recommend getting at least 5 to 10 clicks a day. I feel like that would be a good indication of if your ad's doing well. That's what I usually recommend, is at least 5 to 10 clicks a day. All right. Yeah, it'll tell you right here. You can go with the recommendation. I always recommend at least $1,500 to $3,000 a month, at least, when I'm running Google Ads. Here's the thing about Google Ads, guys. It is a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but it is more expensive than other avenues like TikTok ads or Facebook ads. But that's just because the quality of the customer is just that much better. The quality of the click, the quality of the person who's viewing your ad is that much higher. So you're going to spend more on Google Ads just because of that. And so keep that in mind. But again, I do recommend $1,500 to $3,000 a month, and you just divide that by the days you're running ads on. If you're not running ads on Saturday and Sunday, that means you would divide it by 25. So 3,000 divided by 25, and that will be your daily budget. All right, pretty simple on that part, guys. And then that's about it. And then you'll see here, it'll say submit. You just go and press submit, and then it'll review your ad, and yeah, there you go. You're ready to go. Now, one key thing you guys want to make sure you add once the ad is running is you want to make sure that you add negative keywords. Okay? Now, with negative keywords, you would go to audiences, keywords, and content, go to keywords, then you go to negative keywords, and then you'll either add it to the entire campaign or you'll add it to each individual ad group. I like to just do it to the entire campaign, makes things simple. And to add a negative keyword group, I just go to ChatGPT, creates a negative keyword list right there. You copy that and you paste that in here. Make sure you do phrase match, and then that way you guys will not be wasting money on bad clicks, because a lot of times people don't add negative keywords and they spend their budget super quickly, because what Google's doing, guys, is your ad is very new. So Google's just throwing shit at the wall and hoping to stick. Sorry for the language. But that's basically what Google's doing until it finds something that works. So you want to make sure you set up everything properly so Google doesn't waste your money and time. You want to make sure you're shooting very well in the beginning. So you want to make sure you're adding that negative keyword list so you're not getting those bad clicks. And then, yeah, and then you press save, and that'll be that. And then you go ahead and create those other ad groups, create those other ads, and basically just watch that and scale it. But other than that, guys, that's basically it for the video. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Also, shoot me an email if you guys have any questions about your ad, your current campaign. I think I'm going to be doing audits here pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that. Also, again, if you are looking for a agency to go ahead and run your Google ads to make sure everything is done correctly and you're getting high quality clicks and high quality leads, please fill out that form below and book a free call, and we'll definitely see if we'll be a good fit for you. But other than that, guys, I will see you on the next video, and you guys have a good night.